Turn on the radios for this one. Climbing. Okay, climb on. Okay, Ben, I'm doing a little bit of a steeper move. Just watch me here.
Got you.
Give me some slack. Slack.
Ah! Woo! That's me.
Ben, you're on belay. Let's go.
That was a climb.
Rope. Okay, see you down there.
Yeah. How was the rappel?
Overhanging.
That's what I was afraid of.
My name's Greg,
And I'm Ben.
and we're from Chilliwack, BC.
Where are we going from there?
I didn't think that far. I'm Greg,
And I'm Ben.
and we'd like to tell you about our recent completion of the Rexford-Slesse Horseshoe. The Horseshoe is comprised of 25 summits broken into 4 sections, the first of which is from Delusion to Rexford, which is called the Grand Ensequatch Enchainment.
And then from Rexford south and back up to Labor Day is the Silesia Traverse.
From Labor Day to Slesse is called the Slesse Massif Traverse.
And from Slesse to Pierce is the Slesse to Pierce Traverse. Greg and I completed this in August 2025.
And we're the first people to link all 25 summits in a traverse. Ben and I met in 2021 through some climbing friends, and we hit it off pretty quick, discovering that we made good partners. We just think alike, and we work well together.
And then our first larger objective was in summer of 2022 when we completed the Shiam Range Traverse.
The Horseshoe really started to come together shortly after when we did Slesse for the first time, and then we did the Nessequatch Enchainment across the valley. And that was actually my first real alpine climb. Ben taught me how to tie an anchor, and it was quite fun and enjoyable getting to be up in the beautiful mountains, enjoying the views, and nobody else is there because you're climbing these crazy peaks. About a week after we did the Nessequatch Enchainment, we actually did Labor Day Buttress behind Slesse, and we were surveying all of the Horseshoe around us. We were considering, can we link all of these 25 summits?
So that actually wasn't the first time I heard about the Traverse. In summer of 2020, I was hiking Mount Lindeman with my buddy Nick, and he pointed out a Traverse that he had known about, and he told me that nobody had done it before.
And Ben pointed out that he had already done from Slesse out to Pierce with Nick the year prior. So in 2023, I went with my friend Brennan and repeated that section, which got us up onto the same page. And we decided to try it for 2024. But just when things were going well, disaster struck.
We were on pitch 2 of a multi-pitch trad climb, and a piece blew out as I was just starting up from the anchor, and I had a pretty severe upper ankle sprain, which took me out for most of the summer.
All of the planning was coming together. This was just a few weeks before we had planned to go, and Ben's ankle was sprained, so I was like, Nick, let's do this traverse. And then Nick had an unexpected surgery, so he was out. So last minute, I called my friend Mike, and he was free. So I hauled in some drop bags to the Rexford side and one to the Slesse side, and Mike and I gave it an effort. We hiked in and we started along the ridge line, but we very quickly realized that there was way too much snow on the route. And as soon as we encountered all of the climbing, which is normally pretty moderate, we had to do variations that were much harder and took way more time. And so ultimately, Mike and I found ourselves on the summit of Rexford, exhausted, way behind schedule, and realized that it was not realistic to continue. And so we bailed and decided to head down. But it was really important because I was able to scout that first quarter of the Horseshoe. After that failed attempt with Mike, it changed the perspective to be, oh my goodness, this is way bigger than I thought, and we need to solve all of the cruxes before we link it together. Kind of like red pointing a climb, where you try from the ground, you don't succeed, so you spend some time working out all of the hardest moves, the hardest sections, before trying again. And so Ben and I were like, we have one significant part of the traverse that we need to figure out.
Yeah, so that was the Silesia Traverse section. There were some other more technical areas, but those had all been done by previous groups at least once. And the Silesia Traverse was pretty much unknown territory for us, and there wasn't much information on it. So we decided to give that a go.
It was early September, and so the conditions were completely different. Instead of there being snow on the route, it was bone dry, and Ben and I found a beautiful sunny weather window, and we set out for a 1.5-day blitz mission. And we found ourselves at the bottom of the Horseshoe completely dehydrated because we had underestimated the water sources on the route. But we ended up completing it, and it was 45 kilometers with 4,500 meters of elevation gain and loss. And it was one of the most satisfying trips that we had done because unlike the Sham Traverse where we had scouted everything, this one we went in completely blind.
Yeah, it seemed like every decision we made, whether it was to go right of the ridge, left of the ridge, whatever, it just all worked out and we didn't have to do really any backtracking.
After we completed the Silesia Traverse and we had all of that information under our belt, we set our sights on 2025 to reattempt the entire Horseshoe.
And then in January 2025, I was offered a really sweet gig backpack guiding down in New Mexico. So that took me sort of out of the picture until I got back.
And that left me with a couple pieces to put together. The main one was scouting the Slesse Massif. So I recruited once again my friend Mike, and we set off on a blitz mission to go do Labor Day all the way to Slesse. And this turned into an absolute epic of its own right. We spent an unplanned bivvy on the mountain. It was cold, but we got so much important information on all the rappels and pitches to navigate through the totally scary section. And this kind of left me with a lingering question of, is a trip like this worth it? It's inherently risky. A lot of the scrambling we're doing is very exposed but not protectable, meaning you can't rope up for it. And any small slip could easily result in serious injury or death. And actually in 2024, we had some friends of ours die in the mountains, and this really shook us up.
For a couple months, Greg and I were really talking about what mattered to us and why we were doing what we were doing in the mountains and sort of what level of risk was appropriate. And we're both married and have wives. We wanted to stay alive for them, obviously. Sort of took a step back, and I think one of the takeaways was that we were going to be less objective focused and more just get out in the mountains to have fun and maybe dial back how serious we were taking it.
Yeah, and that directed us into, if we are going to do something this big, it really has to be important to us and worth taking on that risk. And both of us agreed that this is something we really want to do. And so after Mike and I finished the Slesse Massif, the only thing left to do was wait for Ben to get back. And I had a couple tasks I needed to complete, which was dropping some food bags. So I recruited my friends Sam, Nils, and Nate, and then Ben's brother David to help me bring all of the supplies. So on a Friday, I hiked up to the Rexford Basin with Sam. We've got Sam filling up some water bags from the creek. We're gonna haul 6 liters of water up and all that food. Leave that bag up there. You can see some flat bivvy rocks over there. And just in here, I have hidden the first drop bag. And then that Saturday, I went back to the same parking lot, but with Dave and with my friend Nate. I'm here with Nate, and we got David launching the drone. We are bringing drop bag number 2 to the ridge behind Labor Day. Drop bag number 2. Nice and hung up, keep the rodents out, hopefully. We got some pretty sick views from the drop location. And then on Sunday, I went up again with Sam and another friend, Nils. I'm here with Nils and Sam. What are you doing back here? Couldn't get enough. We are filling up maybe 10 liters and we are hiking it all the way up to the base of Slesse. Probably like 17 pounds of water, courtesy of Sam and Nils. Now you see me, now you don't. So after the drop bags were all in place, the only thing left was waiting for a weather window. And honestly, that's one of the most satisfying things about a trip like this is you plan months, like years in advance, and you're just waiting for all of the stars to align where our schedules are perfect, our fitness, we're not injured, we have all of the information we need, and then finally you've booked off time where there happens to be a weather window, and it turned out to be just that.
So we sort of threw all our gear together last minute for the earlier Tuesday evening departure, and then I headed over with Abby to your place, and we had an early dinner and a quick gear check, and then jumped in the truck and headed down to the starting point, which was down in Center Creek Forest Service Road.
And from there, we said goodbye to our wives and headed up the hill. Jazz and Abby are bidding us adieu. Meanwhile, Ben and I are ready, packs toted, excited and ready to go.
That afternoon was not the part of the trip I was looking the most forward to. There was no trails there, it was just a bushwhack, and those can be sort of heinous in the Pacific Northwest. But this one was pretty good.
Getting in a rhythm. Most importantly, we are ahead of schedule, if not right on. Quick update. We have gone 6 kilometers in just under 4 hours. We've climbed 1,330 meters. It's 8:42 p.m. and we're probably just gonna call it here. We're just giving ourselves a time estimate for how long it'll take us tomorrow, and I figure we can do to the drop bag in something like 10 hours and then budget for like maybe 6 hours for the Nessequatch enchainment. We're gonna set up camp and yeah, wake up bright and early.
So we woke up the next morning, which is the start of day 1, I guess, and it was pretty socked in.
Well, things changed a fair bit overnight. We woke up not in the clear.
Clouds had rolled in overnight, which was not exactly what we were hoping for. And we were just doing open bivvy, so we were pretty wet. And that's how we started our morning.
Delusion's a very easy scramble, so we didn't even put our helmets on for it. So we cruised through to the first peak of 25, which felt pretty exciting, just as the sun was peeking through the clouds. And then made our way to the base of Disillusion Peak, which has a pretty neat tree ramp that goes between sheer cliffs, and Ben and I reached the top of that very quickly, and that's where the real technicality of this route begins. There's a short rappel followed by a single pitch of about 5.7 to gain the ridge to North Illusion, and so Ben and I quickly got that out of the way, walked up past some snow, filled up our water, and then we're standing on North Illusion. Numero 3. We are cruising 4 hours on the dot since we left our bivvy. Feeling pretty good, eh, Ben?
Oh yeah.
And up ahead of us, just out of view, is the Au Cheval rooftop rappel / pitch. And then we have 3 pitches to the saddle of South Illusion. We're standing on North Illusion, and last year it took Mike and me, I think, 5 hours to get from here to South Illusion. So if we can beat that by an hour, we would be very stoked.
And that was sort of the first time I had been on the end of a rope that summer with my backpack guiding. For most of the summer season, I wasn't really in the best of climbing shape, or at least not in the best of mountaineering shape mentally. So it was interesting getting on the end of a rope and doing some wraps again in a pretty exposed area.
One of the most graceful maneuvers ever beheld by mankind, Ben. We'll see who's laughing when you're coming across. Yeehaw! My hip flexors are not in shape for this. That was cool. Yeah. All right, see at the bottom. This one I remember being like pretty dang vertical. That's a steep one, hey?
I know.
Once we got down into the notch, we tied in, and because Ben hadn't been climbing all summer, and also because I was really familiar with the route up to the top of South Illusion, I led 3 pitches, which were all about 5'7", 5'8" to the top.
This is alpine climbing, y'all. Even climbing a tree. Way above the Ocheval now. Ben, you're on belay. Not the best alpine pitch in the world.
Did you climb the little tree down there?
Alrighty, 1 pitch from the top.
Pitch number 3.
Pitch number 3. Let's go. Very close.
Another one done.
Another one done. Well, I guess that's the summit, but whatever.
Another pitch done.
Yeah, just before 2 o'clock, we are doing quite well. Gee to the frickin' haw! Hopefully we get to the drop bag by 3:30. Would be lovely. Summit number 4.
Oh yeah.
Not bad. 2:23. Shaved an hour off of last year.
So then we scrambled off of South Illusion and to our first drop bag location, which was thankfully intact.
Yeah, it was really nice. We were about an hour ahead of schedule, so we just chilled out, laid all of our gear out to dry because it was still wet from the night before, refueled a little bit, and then we loaded some lighter backpacks to do the North Nessequatch and South Nessequatch spires.
First North Spire from the North Ridge, and then we're going to do South Spire, rappel into the gully, come back here, and if we've got time, we're going to go up the West Ridge and camp on top. And if we have time, we're going to summit Rexford. And if not, do it tomorrow morning.
North Nessequatch and South Nessequatch and Rexford felt like home territory because we had both done that enchainment multiple times. So it felt good to be back on there, and we were just moving quickly.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Just up ahead. Woo! Bing! Summit number...
Losing track.
5?
Something like that.
Yeah. That's where we're off to next.
This section does have one of the gnarliest pitches though, which is up to the summit of South Nessequatch Spire. It's detestable by any standard of climbing and requires off-width, unprotected climbing to the summit block. So we quickly got that out of the way, which felt like a big weight off our shoulders.
All right, I'm climbing. Climb on. Dear God, pray for safety. Pray that the holds will feel solid. And my feet will feel good. Ah! Woo! Woo! Oh, frick yeah. Yeah. Nice. Most brutal pitch of the entire traverse. It is 7 o'clock. We've been on the go for 13 hours and we have bagged 6 summits. Not bad for a single day.
Not bad at all.
Now we just gotta get off this tower into the gully and go to those trees to get our supplies that have been drying out, and then we're gonna tootle across the boulder field and head up the West Ridge and find a good flat bivvy spot. Okay, I'll see you at the bottom, Ben.
See you on the other side.
Oh shoot, really sad when we got back. All of our stuff had condensation on it just because the sun had gone behind the clouds, and so everything, our sleeping bags, our clothes that we had put out to dry, is now a little damp, which is just a bummer. Today was a smashing success, wouldn't you say so, Ben?
Indeed, it was. Perfect. A little bit of shelter.
So happy to be done. Just like so much technical terrain covered today. It's just before 9, so a 15-hour day. So time to get some rest for tomorrow.
It is 5 a.m. on the west ridge of Rexford. Cold soaked chia oatmeal with trail mix.
We are just about to set off up Rexford. It is just before 6 a.m. and we're eager to get a good start on today. We're gonna pack up our camp once we get back from the summit. Rapid Peak is where we're aiming for tonight. And then we got Slesse, which we'll hopefully have summited in 2 sleeps.
You went all the way over there?
Yeah. Nice.
There's a hand under there. That's the key.
We started yesterday morning, did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 summits, and now we're about to hit the 7th. Rexford is just around the corner, and we've got South Rexford next, Bathilith, Cope North, Cope South, Ensequatch, Middle Peak, Southwest Peak, and then we hope to camp all the way on Rapid tonight, which we've done that section before. Just the question is, can we grind it out? So we had a good sleep last night, so here's to hoping it all goes smoothly. Okay, climbing. Okay, Ben, you're on belay.
Okay, climbing.
Climb on.
Whew. Nice.
Ew. Nice. Summit number 7. Hot diggity. Like 45 minutes since we left camp, so we'll probably get back to camp in another 45-ish if the rappels go smoothly.
Standing on top and just soaking in all of the views. This was kind of a big moment because Mike and I had made it to this exact point, and that's where we had to bail. And so from there, it felt like the most committing moment of the entire traverse, that like once we leave this ridge, there's no trail out.
We just made it back to the bivvy, and it's 7:40, so we did that in less than 2 hours up to the summit of Rexford and back. But now we're gonna pack up our camp.
Even though that section of the route felt pretty committing, we had done it the year before, so it wasn't unknown territory, and it was pretty simple as far as technicality goes. So we dropped off of the west ridge of Rexford and filled our waters up, started scrambling towards the south summit of Rexford.
And one of the craziest features is this rock tower called the Pillar of Pi, which is kind of a miracle of nature. 2 legs and a top that looks like the math pi symbol. And so we summited South Rexford, looked down at that cool feature, and then we pressed on towards Bathilith, which is another easy scramble. And from there, our next water source was Cope Lake. So we moved with purpose on our way towards Cope Lake, where we had a nice break, jumped in the water, washed our clothes a little bit, and just took a little bit of time to recuperate.
We headed up a ramp system to the summit of Cope North, and then from there it was just an easy bushy scramble, pretty much just a walk to the summit of Cope South. And next on our list after Cope South was Ensikwatch, which was more just bushy scrambling.
Summit of Ensikwatch Peak. This is summit number 12 and 6th of today.
We dropped off of the summit of Ensikwatch onto the south side of the ridge and just did a long traverse under a whole bunch of towers to get to southwest Middle Peak.
And from southwest Middle Peak, we had the only technical part of this bottom section of the Horseshoe, which was 2 pretty steep rappels. And we got those out of the way just as the sun started to go down. So we felt a bit of pressure to make it as far as we could. And this section was pretty significant because we had no water resupply options, except for ones that were a really long descent off of the ridge. So we checked our reservoirs and we realized that we probably had enough for the night and the next morning, and we would reassess once we woke up. So with that, we just went full steam ahead and cruised up to the shoulder of Rapid Peak, where we set up camp for the night.
Oh yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Should be right there.
Rocky. We could go. We'll find a spot. Nice. 9 o'clock. 15-hour day.
Whew. It was a day, that's for sure.
That was a day. Freaking long day. Okay. Let's find a spot. Beautiful morning. It's just after 6 a.m. We are hiking over to a snow patch. Previously, we planned to go down to that lake, but we realized there's some remaining snow up high that we have enough fuel to melt. So that saves us a really annoying loss of like 150 meters.
And it was really important that we fill to maximum capacity because we got so heat exhausted the year before. And it's a really, really tedious long ridge along Rapid Peak. So from the snow patch, we made it all the way to the summit of Rapid Peak, which is a very cool vantage point of the Horseshoe. You can see both sides equally. And we soaked that in for a little bit and then pressed on towards Pocket Peak.
So we just carried on down that ridge, which sort of feels never-ending. It's just continuous ridge line with lots of like alpine scrub that you're just beating your way through for hours. And it was way better than the year before because we had enough water, but it was still pretty exhausting. Definitely felt a little calorie deprived and low on energy sections there. But we got to the base of Pocket Peak.
It was really the biggest question mark because the year prior we skipped it. We were so heat exhausted that we went around Pocket Peak to the glacier on the other side, which ultimately saved us.
Oh wow. Super red shoulders.
Yep.
It's just before noon. We're taking a little lunch break. What's on the menu today, Ben?
Mediterranean flavored tuna. It's not too bad.
But this time we weren't sure exactly how hard it would be, so we roped up, brought a couple cams just in case. But we cruised up it, didn't need to pull the ropes out once, and reached the summit with no issues.
Summit to Battalion Fly. Washington, Fletcher, Jordan, Bellingham.
There's our water source. Let's go.
Once we got around to the other side of Pocket Peak, we had a direct line of sight to Chilliwack and Elk Mountain. So we had some cell service, we pulled out our phones, and we talked to our wives a bit, which was much needed after so many days of not seeing them.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Hi, baby.
How are you doing?
Good.
I just got
It's
some.
so good to hear your voice.
I know. I
Oh.
can literally see Elk Mountain right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
If I look out my window, I can see it too.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
About to fill up with some water and pretty stoked, but yeah. I really miss you and I'm really excited to see you. I love you so much.
Love you so much.
After about an hour of refilling water, refueling with some food, and just cooling off in the shade, we picked up our bags, which now had over 8 liters of water each in them, to make it all the way to Labor Day, which once again is just pretty tedious and monotonous ridgeline, but it's super beautiful, and we knew that it was pretty easy at least. So after a few more hours, we made it to the hump just before Labor Day, and thank goodness that drop bag was also unscathed. So we loaded up with our food from that, and we did a couple simul climbing pitches to the summit of Labor Day, which was quite easy.
We were way over there this morning. Dude, nice.
Oh, it's chill.
Yeah, not so bad.
And then we rappelled off of the other side and made our camp just below Station D.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, I think we can
One right here.
carve some out.
That's a nice spot, like ready to go, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. It is 8:17. We are situated below Station D, which we will climb in the morning. Today was ginormous and hugely successful. We only did 3 summits, but we covered
An immense amount of terrain.
a ton of terrain, a lot of ridgeline for sure. We're gonna pack it in pretty soon for bed. It's just about 9, so that's about an hour earlier than we've been getting to bed. So we'll still get up around 5 and be on our way as soon as it's light enough to start climbing. Hopefully it's not too cold.
Dawn is on the horizon. It's 5 a.m. and I'm warming up my climbing shoes.
So we woke up that morning from our bivvy at the base of Station D peak, and we had the entire, the remainder of the Slesse Massif Traverse just like laid out in front of us, and it was pretty intimidating. I was really thankful that Greg had done it before, earlier that year with Mike, but I knew the hardest pitch was coming up, and I wasn't super confident, especially with the overnight bags and all the water we were hauling around with us.
After we ate some breakfast, we tied it into the rope and went up the first 2 pitches to the base of the crux of literally the entire route.
Not my favorite going up this stuff, but
It worked.
it works. So that's the hand crack right there.
Oh, the corner. Okay.
It all boils down to probably 4 meters of a corner crack, which is about hand size.
Okay. Climbing. Thank you. Thanks, Ben.
4 meters.
Yeah. Okay. Heck yeah. Okay.
Thankfully, I was able to pull through all the moves and got up it without falling, which was my main concern because it would be pretty easy to break an ankle falling. So we made it to the top of Station D, and that felt like a huge success to start off the day.
Summit, just gonna set up an anchor. Such a battle. Such a battle, holy smokes. Ben and I are on top of Station D. What a wild, wild place to be. That was a hard pitch.
It was burly.
I'd say probably a solid 5'9" hand crack.
Up ahead, we have point 2187, which is a walk-on. Should get there in about an hour. And then after that, we've got North Star, which will be a little bit longer because there's a couple pitches. And then we wrap down, and then we go to South Slesse, which is covering True Slesse, and that one will be time consuming, even with better route finding. So we got a bit of a mission ahead of us, but we've got a good buffer of time, so I'm quite confident that we have a real shot at getting to the summit of Slesse and down to the drop bag by dark. After Station D, it's a walk-off all the way to the summit block of point 2187, which has a 4th or 5th class step to reach the summit. And from there, you get an incredible vantage point of what lays ahead, the 3 hardest peaks in the Slesse Massif: North Star, South Peak, and Slesse.
Another summit.
Boom. Well, it's kind of shrouded, but North Star next.
Then we wrapped off the summit of point 2187 and then just scrambled around to the base of the one single pitch to get to top of the North Star summit.
At the base of this pitch, Mike and I had traversed off to the side, but I decided to try a new route in the spur of the moment to go straight up, which turned out to be a little bit harder than I expected, and I had to get Ben to throw my bag up to me after I reached the top.
Okay, Ben, I'm doing a little bit of a steeper move. Just watch me here.
Got you.
Woo! Here.
Oh boy. This was really exciting to be on the top of North Star. It's a pretty incredible peak, but it also has a lot of history because that's where the Trans-Canada Flight 810 crashed, right below the summit in 1956. So as we rappelled off the other side of North Star, we did 4 rappels, and then we started scrambling to the pitches up South Peak. We started finding pieces of the plane wreckage.
So it wasn't Krumholtz after all.
What? Oh wow.
Interesting. Like it looks like an oil or a fuel sealed everywhere.
Maybe from the wing, from fuel tank, or going to the engine. I don't know.
Yeah.
So at the base of South Peak, we were finally running out of water that we had brought all the way from Pocket Glacier. And I had been leading all the pitches up to this point just to be the most efficient possible because I knew exactly where to go. But halfway up South Peak, I just hit a wall and Ben had to take over and do the last simul climbing pitch to the summit.
I didn't expect to run the overhanging.
Yeah.
Here we go. Almost there. Just around and then I'll go left and go up. Yeah, got this.
I'll let you know when you're at halfway.
Yep, sounds good. Which was pretty easy. It was like low 5th climbing, so we just put it, turned it into one pitch and then simul climbed the remainder to the top.
Okay, that's it.
Once I got up to Ben at the belay station just below the summit of South Peak, we were pretty stoked because thanks to Mike's and my recon mission, we had shaved off several hours from this section of the traverse. So we kicked our feet up and relaxed for a bit, rationed our water. Ben nursed me back to health, gave me some of his.
Got baked all the way up to the summit of South Slesse. We only have one summit left for today. The main summit of Slesse. We've got 2 rappels. And we're gonna walk along the ledges and then do a gully to the standard route. And it is only 3:30, which actually blows my mind. Bing. Pretty freaking insane. Pocket Glacier is just hanging on. Was, yeah. Okay, summit's right there. You can drop your rope. I'll get this set up.
And this is where there's an interesting detail of how to get off of this summit. It's got to be the most intimidating from across the valley. When you're on Rexford, this thing just looks like a jagged vertical wall on its north side, and we can confirm that it is. Mike and I had rappelled slightly off of the main summit, but it was kind of a J-hook, and we were worried that the rope would get stuck. So Ben and I decided at that time we would set up a rappel directly off of the summit. So I slung a horn up there, tied some wrap tat, and then leaned back off of the edge and looked down. And pretty quickly I realized that the rappel was going to be overhanging.
Oh, we're on, Ben.
What?
We're good.
Yay! Okay, you got this. See at the bottom.
Oh, she's steep.
So I started moving backwards, and I remember thinking to myself, I really don't want this rope to move around on me because that's really dangerous. It can saw the rope. And so I placed the rope in a notch. And I got to the bottom, and I told Ben,
Make sure you get it in that notch good.
Gotcha. How was the rappel?
Overhanging.
That's what I was afraid of.
and Ben came down. We had both been so tired that we just forgot that putting it in the notch risked having the knot get stuck. So we're at the bottom of this 40-meter overhanging rappel, and the rope won't come down.
Currently the rope is stuck on the knot. Oh man, I don't know what to do.
There's really no way to get out of that spot without having ropes.
And the sun's starting to get a little bit lower and starting to get a bit worried. We try for maybe like 10 minutes to pull this rope down, and I quickly realized that there's no point. And so I pulled out my ascending gear, which basically is ultralight teeth that you clip onto the rope with a beaner, and you slide it one way and you pull and it grips onto the rope. And so Ben was on one side anchoring the rope, and then I climbed up this other side. I started going up and I was stepping into my leg loop, and this tib lock just shredded the rope, and I just my heart just exploded.
Terrified. The tib lock keeps slipping, keeps fraying my rope.
I don't think I've ever been so scared. I've had scary moments before, but this was super real of oh my gosh. And I just tried to keep stepping up, but it happened 3 or 4 times. My fear just came out as pure anger in the moment, and I just was screaming. I remember just thinking what am I doing here?
Almost 40 meters off the deck. Why am I here? So close to this rope. Don't pull there, pull here. Okay, come on, come on. Pull on the prospect, not the tib lock. Come on.
And I was just at the base. It was pretty intense, and there wasn't much I could do other than keep the one end of the rope anchored. So I was sort of stuck there.
5 more feet, Ben.
I was just exhausting myself because you're climbing a dynamic rope. It's just moving up and down as you're stepping up onto it. And I was just pooped. And so I just called down to Ben. I'm
gonna have nothing left in the tank after this.
So I just pressed on. I got to the rope that was stuck in this notch, and I shimmied the knot, and then I rappelled again, kicking my legs in the overhanging air. And I just get to the bottom, and I just broke down when I got to Ben.
Wow, you're a freaking hero.
Fuck, I'm so happy.
You got it. You did it, Greg. You did it.
Okay.
You did it.
Okay. Let's do this rappel. Let's get off this mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where all of the experience, I think, like comes in, because in a moment like that, you can't just like lose it. If I just had a complete breakdown and just wouldn't move, we'd have to get helicoptered out. And so it's just like, okay, reset. We just need to get out of here. And so that's what we did.
Yep, and I just took over from there. It was pretty much just scrambling from there to a notch on the shoulder of Slesse, where the 5657 standard southwest route to the summit of Slesse starts. So there was one pitch that I led up to that point.
The GoPro died, so this will have to do for now. We just came over that hump. We just faffed and did an overhanging rappel from the top down the X. Now we're here. We saved some time by just scrambling what Mike and I roped up for, which was actually quite reasonable. Ben's gonna lead a pitch to the normal route, and then we're gonna be able to just do one more pitch, and we might get to the summit before dark. So hopefully to the bivvy before dark.
And then we dropped our bags and reorganized and got ready for the summit pitch.
Once we got back onto the standard route of Slesse, all of the weight just like came off of our shoulders. Because from here, we basically had the Traverse in the bag. Both of us had done Slesse more than 5 times each at that point. And so it literally felt like we were just playing in our backyard. And all of the scary moments up to that point coming off of South Peak just kind of like blew away.
Let's cool down. Okay, you good?
This thing.
Let's do it. Oh,
What a day.
what a frickin' day.
Well, we did it.
We frickin' did it. Oh my gosh, 7:23.
Crushed it.
That's insane.
Even with that mess on Slesse.
Holy smokes. Oh, bam. Okay, let's just get moving.
We made our way back down, rappelled, and we got back to the drop location for drop bag number 3.
The final rappel of the trip. Heyo. Wow, those clouds are something else.
What?
Those clouds.
I know, they're epic. So cool.
And much to our dismay, there was another group of climbers who had taken one of the bivvy spots.
Yes. Shoot. It's true. This makes it a little cozier.
Hey, Steven.
Yo, I'm Ryan.
These people are also known as the ones who stole our second bivvy spot.
We pulled drop bag number 3 out of where Greg had stashed it, and a mouse or a rat or something had gotten into it.
Come on. Come on. Freaking go. Oh no.
So it was leaking, dripping water when we pulled it out. So we were pretty concerned about our water supply. But thankfully, I think it was just like dew or condensation that had collected in there and was dripping out of these holes.
Small hole. Hopefully there's enough water left in there.
And then I opened it up and the water was completely intact. But I will say, I'm kind of embarrassed about it. I was so thirsty that I filtered the water in the bottom of the bag and like put a purification tablet. I'm like, who knows, I might get rabies from this mouse, but I need some water. Since the weather had been so blazing hot the days prior, Ben and I decided that we would wake up at like 3 a.m. to beat the heat. And in the complete pitch black, we packed our bags and started down the Slesse Scrambler Route trail. And this is one section that I actually just overlooked completely. And in my head, it made the most sense to just go down the trail and then climb back up to the ridge. Turns out there was a much better way off, which the climbers camping next to us had taken. And we left probably a good hour before them, and they were ahead of us by the time we got back to the ridge. So that was pretty disappointing.
We're out here again with Ryan and Steven. They left after us and they were ahead of us because I messed up the descent pretty bad, so.
Just about at sunrise, we reached the summit of Mount Parks.
Parks! Honestly, we're making really good time.
Yeah, let's go cruise that before it gets hot.
Yeah.
We dropped off back onto the ridge and just carried on down that until we got to Crossover, which is really just a bunch of blocky towers. So we just scrambled around there and kicked off all the highest looking towers just to make sure we got the true summit.
On one of the possible 4 summits of Crossover, they all seem to have a pile of rocks. Ben's just coming down from the first one. Second summit of the day. We're cruising, it's only 8 a.m.
2 more to go.
2 more to go. McFarland, Pierce Lake, and Pierce.
And then from there, we dropped off of Crossover Peak and continued on the ridge.
And this is most exciting for me. Unfortunately, Abby had a pretty bad knee at that point, but originally she was going to meet us with Jazz and my brother Eric on McFarland. So I was a little sad for Ben, but I was really happy for me. And I had told Jazz and Eric to turn on a radio once they got to Lower Pierce Lake so that we could see if they were going to line up to meet us on the summit.
We've got the walkie-talkie on, seeing if we can reach Greg. And Jasmine's excited.
We are past Lower Pierce,
We're up, almost at the ropes.
almost at the ropes.
Did you say, all right, game on, or you're gonna win?
You're gonna lose. That's what I said.
All right, whatever you say, Mrs. Lose Sink.
Not yet. I'm still fast.
We're almost at the lake. Jasmine's going full gas. Not that anyone's gonna care, but this is my first hike of the year.
Yeah, we're about 50 meters below the summit.
I want you to pause there because we can see you. He wants to get a photo of you guys. So wave to the camera.
And at that point, it just felt like we were on the home stretch because we were just moving,
Oh, we were moving so
easy
well.
terrain, and we were just ready to be done with this project, ready to get to that last 2 summits and just hit a trail again.
We're freaking stoked. Surprising how much energy we have on day 5 after sleeping less than 3 hours most likely last night.
Summit, frick yeah. Woohoo!
24. Oh, boom shakalaka. Okay, we did it. Just one more. Stupid Pierce.
So we got to McFarland, and that's where we had a really great reunion with Jazz and Eric.
And a million black flies.
Yeah.
Seems like a fast is faster than a loose sink after all.
Yeah.
One loose sink.
One
One loose sink.
Eric.
Nice job.
How you feeling?
Yeah. The whole crew. We got Ben. We got Jazzaroo. We got Eric too. And Greg.
After summiting McFarland, we dropped down, took a great jump in the lake as a break.
I am not going to go in that aggressively or I might die of shock. So smelly in here. That's all you, Greg. No, it's no, that thing has not been slept in this trip.
We pressed on for the stupidest summit of the entire trip. Mount Pierce. I don't know. Bushy.
Yeah, just a bushy bump, but technically it's on the ridge and it's the last high point and it has a name, so.
And to be fair, it's got a great vantage point of the
That's true.
entire route.
Yeah.
Oh, Benjamin.
We actually did it. Wowza.
Holy smokes.
What an epic.
Holy crap. Boom. 25.
Hi. Oh yeah.
So we hiked up to that bump. First night camped. Day one we hit Delusion, Disillusion, North Illusion, South Illusion, North Nessequatch, South Nessequatch. Camped on the West Ridge of Rexford. Day two we did Rexford. Then we went down and South Rexford's out of sight. So we did Bathurst after that. Cope North, Cope South, Ensequatch Peak, Southwest Middle Peak. And then we camped on the shoulder of Rapid Peak. We woke up the next day, got a resupply of snow for our water. We did Rapid. Then we went all the way over to Pocket Peak. And from Pocket was a really vital water source. We resupplied and we carried 8 liters of water over to Station D. We did Labor Day that day, so 1, 2, 3 summits on day 3. Day 4 we did Station D, up 2187, up North Star, up South Slesse, up Slesse, and then we camped below Slesse. And then this morning we woke up and we did Parks, we did Crossover, we did McFarland, and now we're standing
On Pierce.
on Pierce. Freaking A. 5 days, 25 summits, a whole lot of memories. It's crazy.
And then returned to the lake, picked up our bags, and happened to see a bunch of friends there and regaled them with stories from our last 5 days in the mountains, and then just talked our entire way down the trail and made it back to the car. The final trip stats were 5.5 days, and we covered about 85 kilometers of ridgeline, which involved over 8,000 meters of elevation gain and descent. We did something like 20 pitches of climbing and over 20 rappels, and we had a great time doing it.
We sure did.
The only part about this traverse that's kind of regrettable is when we got back into town and into cell service and I uploaded my GPX track. It resembled a little bit less of a horseshoe than we expected.
And the train in the woods sounds like soldiers with drums. There are many forms it's revealed in. come. So you stare down the city, all reckless abandon. You scatter the charms. When your nerves get the best of you and all that was handed lost, I will come.